Like I said before, karate's a really big entity. There's so many different versions of it from different countries, and everyone's adding so much different stuff into it. It's not monolithic anymore. It's just not uniform. So I want to show you more of a traditional type step versus a more modern step. So obviously you have point fighting, which I'm not really going to get into because I'm more of a traditional work. So obviously you have your side step, back and forth type guys. You now have a lot of American karate that instituted kickboxing. These guys, what they do is they throw low, and then they come into these power blows, these tight boxing throws, and they're good. Don't get me wrong, they hurt. I wouldn't want to fight those guys. So what they're doing is they're using that front hip, and they're driving with these big motions like this to generate power. But I defy you to go into a kata and find that. You won't. They've changed it to fit what they're doing. A lot of them want to fight competition, they want to fight sport, and so they've altered what they're doing foot-wise. So what you have now with your feet is, if you watch traditional arts, the first thing that you got to understand is that we don't plod in traditional arts. You shouldn't step and fall. Every time you step, you should feel like at any point in time you can move around and your center of mass is good. You should be very quick and nimble and relaxed. Because in a world where people sweep you or kick at your legs, it's important to have that ability to pick your legs up and move them. If you look at traditional katas, there's no high kicks. There's no big roundhouse kicks. There's none of that stuff. There's no spinning kicks. The kicks are low, and they're intended to go to low targets so you can intermingle your hands with them. So if I go like this, bang, from here, my only recourse is those big roundhouse kicks to the leg, because I've shifted all my mass. If I have lighter feet and I'm hitting targets like the inside of the legs, if I'm going to the ankles or the inside of the leg, what I want to do is I want to have this ability to set and throw punches right away. To do that, I have to have my weight right. If I kick like this, I come down, all my mass is forward, and when I punch, there's nothing on it. If I kick this way, I set my mass to where it stays back, and then I throw, there's power on the blow. When you're throwing these kicks, the arteries or the groin or the inside of the legs or the shins if you're wearing shoes, right? You want to be able to transfer from foot to punch to foot quickly. That's why you do cat stance, kids. It's not because you should be like this fighting. It's because you need to learn to center your mass so that when you step properly, you're not off balance. So as you're moving, you should always feel like you're centered over your hips and not heavy over your feet. If you can learn to do that, what'll happen is it'll give you the opportunity to move properly and throw your hands with your legs and throw to targets that are more traditional. Because there's not sport kicks and they're not legal, often modern martial arts don't throw them because there's no value in it. For you to go like this in a competition where they're throwing a lot of heavy kicks and high kicks and they're throwing into the body and the head, but you can't go to the groin or the arteries or the inner thighs legally, it doesn't do you any good to use this footwork. So footwork is really dependent on what you want to do with your martial arts. If you really enjoy the sport end of it, the kickboxing footwork. If you're more of a traditionalist, if you're going to use low kicks and different techniques like that, you should learn really how to center your mass and be very soft on your feet and not just plodding away like this.